what is a better idea to do? Is it to buy in on a team that's retiring or moving on to something else? Or is it to build your own, right?
Yeah.
And so you actually crunch these numbers.
Kinda.
We are hanging out at Seattle, no, St. Louis. It's been a long day. Anyway, this is Nick Novak's car. It is a Pro 2 car. It's actually a Pro 1 car, but we're gonna see if he'll actually tell us that. He bought it. It was already built, sorted. He bought a complete package. We're gonna see if he thought that was a good idea now that he's done it, or maybe he says, man, I wish I would have built one, or whatever he says. And then he's gonna give us a rundown on the car. What's up?
What's up?
All right,
Hey,
Nick Novak. Yep. You guys remember him from Lone Star Drift. He kicked all our asses with his BMW. That was dope. So you built that car. You had it for how many years?
We got it as a NASA spec race car and then converted it to drifting and then ran it for 3 years. And it's still together now.
Okay.
Practice car.
How many years did it have a sequential?
1.
One.
Yeah.
So 5 years on what kind of trans?
ZF, just stock
Okay.
BMW E36 trans.
Cool. So he did 5 years like that. Still made what, like 600 horse?
Nah, I drove it. That car I drove 1 year as an NA S54 300, like 330 wheel.
Yeah.
And then when I came the first season for Lone Star, we turboed it and it made like right around 500.
Okay.
And then last year at one round, I had it up at 650, but it wasn't really needed. So I ran like 550 and all the others.
Okay. So like 550 wheel,
Yeah.
right? 550 wheel, which is healthy. Like,
Yeah,
let's be honest, that's a lot of
it's-
horsepower
it's enough to
the
move
ground.
around.
Yeah. With the ZF box though, props for that. Turbo inline 6 BMW. I don't want to just guesstimate how much that costs per year, but what we're going to do is a comparison here, like with this car and that sort of thing, okay? So now you bought a new car.
Yes.
Tell us about your car.
So it's an E46 built by RTS. It's,
Okay.
It's Alex Silbrun's Pro 1 car from the last 3 years.
Badass. First of all, did you guys hear what he just said? This is a Pro 1 car. Holy shit. From a very good team. Wow. So, okay, I really appreciate this because this is lineage. And the fact that you didn't take them off is brilliant. If you guys ever have something like this on your chassis, leave it alone. That is so cool. So 100th FD championship round, that's so dope. I would have never taken that off either. No shit. All right, so tell us what's going on. Let's start under the hood, then we'll walk through the car. You guys can see this thing is nuts.
So it's a 4.5 liter Whipple supercharger on a 441 cubic inch LS based engine.
Okay.
It's a RHS tall deck, fully built, dry sump. Coil packs are remote.
So what's the displacement on it?
441 cubic inch, so it's like 7.23 liters.
So over 7 liters,
Yeah.
that is no joke. And then it's got a giant supercharger on it. How many liters is the supercharger?
4.5.
4.5. Now, does that add together equal, what,
Like
11, whatever
11
horsepower?
something, yeah.
Or liter displacement? Is that because it's a roots type?
I would think so.
So, for those that don't know, there's a couple different types of supercharger. This is the one that sounds cool, right?
Yeah,
Basically,
that
is
sounds amazing.
the easiest way to explain it. It's a roots type versus a centrifugal, which looks like a tiny turbo that's driven off a belt. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that too much, but this one is sick. Let's just
This
put it
one
that
makes
way.
all the whiny sounds
Yeah.
that sound cool.
So how much power does it make?
We turned it down to 900.
Turned it down, meaning you
When we got it,
run
it
less
was at-
boost?
Yeah.
Okay.
We put the bigger pulley on it, and it pulled the boost down. When we got it, it was making 1200 wheel,
Okay.
which for a 255 is way more than overkill.
So that's an important point that he brings up, that it was built for like, what, a 295?
350.
A 315, Jesus. Oh my God. So this is normally on a 315 R compound, for lack of a better term, which is, you know, a really big sticky tire, and it burns them up in 2 laps,
Yeah.
like straight up 2 laps.
And it's the
So now we turned it down to 900 for the 265s.
55, yeah.
255, right. So Nick is running Pro 2 this year in this car. He just qualified for Pro 2 by earning his license last year at Lone Star Drift. So props, right?
Thank you.
Good job. And the fact that he's going on is even more dope. So we're glad to see like a prepared person has taken the steps to get into Formula D.
Trying to make the dream work.
Yeah, making the dream happen. All right, so let's run down the suspension real quick.
So it's Feel 442 coilovers with the RTS billet angle kit.
That's sick.
And then in the rear, it's also 442 with the billet kit again. Halfway through packing up for the
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, I caught him at a bad time, folks. We did this for you, Aaron, and all your fans. So don't yell at me whenever this isn't the best quality. But here we go.
So full billet, trailing arms, lower control arms, upper control arms, winner's quick change.
Yeah, for a second. This is sick. This is all like the best shit. Oh my god. I'm jealous. This is literally all the best shit, y'all. Like, if I could have basically no limit spending, I would pretty much have something like this.
Yeah,
Maybe not this exact thing, but
It actually cost less to get this than it was going to be to build a new E36 for Pro 2.
wow.
And this came with all of their spares, literally everything. Their spare engine, spare all
Spare
their
gearbox,
parts.
spare suspension,
Yeah,
spare
force
wheels.
feeds, all the wheels, spare body panels. Like, it came with pretty much everything to run a program.
Okay, so that brings up an interesting point, right? What is a better idea to do? Is it to buy in on a team that's retiring or moving on to something else? Or is it to build your own, right?
Yeah,
And so you actually crunch these numbers.
kinda.
Okay,
We looked at what it was going to cost to build the other car from scratch and then upgrade it for Pro 1, and then looked at this. It came with everything we need. It's Pro 1 capable already, so we just knew that if we turn the power down a little bit, it'll be great for Pro 2. And then if we make the jump to Pro 1, we can turn it back up and still be competitive and don't have to build a new car.
that's brilliant. I think that is, in my opinion, the way to go. So he's looking at this like a long-term program, right? This is a 5-year plan or whatever.
However many it takes.
Yeah, however many. And like, as long as he's improving and enjoying himself and like having fun and progressing, right?
Yep.
Then he's gonna keep doing it. And that's badass. And so I think looking at this like that is an important aspect of racing. Some people are not meant to race at this level, you know, and that's okay. You can have fun at a local event in a simple, inexpensive car, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But this is like the dream. Like,
Yeah,
this is the way
the
that
thing
everyone
that I've
wants
always
to do
loved
it.
about drifting is just the high competitive atmosphere. You know, the huge horsepower cars,
Yeah.
huge tire smoke. That's what really appealed to me when I first really saw drifting.
Hell yeah. So quick rundown on the rear mount radiator, everyone.
Second battery.
That's more of a
There's
ballast.
another battery in here.
Shine the light for me.
It's behind these.
Okay, you don't have to pull it back. That's okay. Couple of vent tanks, catch tanks,
Yeah.
swirl
and then
tanks, whatever they are. Some
the
tanks.
stock
shock
bodies
tanks.
all cut off.
Yeah.
Full fiberglass panels.
Hell yeah. Nice.
Easily
bash
remo-
bar is
yeah, easily
nice and
removable.
simple. I like
brush
that.
Structure, just enough to hold the bumper up and pass
Wow,
tag.
that's super simple and light. I like that. Cool. So some of you might understand what race cars are supposed to look like up close, right? You just only ever see them with all their panels on, shut doors, everything, and you're like, well, why does it look so, like, for lack of a better word, terrible? And you're like, no, that's how race cars are supposed to look. They're supposed to have zip ties hold. They're supposed to have their bumper cut in half. Each piece is like its own individual part, so if this gets ripped off, it doesn't rip the entire bumper.
Yeah.
It just,
And then
that
it
piece
doesn't
goes.
Break the bumper in half, and
Right.
you have to do a bunch of fiberglass work to get it back together.
Right.
Just-
So these things are like crashable, for lack of a better phrase, and they have clips and they have like some paint, not perfect, but that's okay. That's actually better. That means the race car's time and energy was spent on like the mechanical, the engine.
That's what wraps are for.
Yeah. As long as it looks good at 50 feet, at 50 miles an hour, it's gonna look great at 100 miles an hour. All right, so what's on the inside? Show us that.
got Sparco seats on both sides. I put the OMP back in for my Pro-Am car just because it's more comfortable for me, especially wearing a Hans. RTS 6XD sequential, CoreWorks handbrake, sweet steering column, Motec M84 ECU, Motec C125 dash, switch panel. Here's the air intake, and then dry sump is
That's
behind.
the air
it.
intake for the engine.
This is the air filter.
Okay, so I've always wanted to do this because this would have totally saved my ass on hyperdrive. Right? If I had had something like an in-cabin filter. Okay,
Yeah.
so tell me how this works.
So the filter is under the dash.
I see it, yeah, it's
and then
clearly
the
there.
ducting goes through the giant firewall hole
Okay.
that the BMWs have from factory.
Nice.
So if you look from here, you can see.
That's actually a factory hole, which
Yeah.
makes it legal for FD.
Yeah, and that's
So
where
you can
that's where the
totally-
AC normally sits, and then it goes to the reverse fed Whipple.
And so
then
you can
into the
just bolt
engine.
this on backwards with maybe an adapter or something and send it.
Yeah.
I love it. That is the setup for hyperdrive, bro. Straight up, like, you should apply for hyperdrive too, and then maybe you can get this bitch on there and go off some jumps. Is this your power steering cooler?
Yeah. The little
Cool.
baby thing.
Yep, that's all it needs,
And
probably.
this is the cooler for the supercharger.
Nice. So,
Full size radiator.
yeah, so you guys need to know that the supercharger doesn't have an intercooler, but it's internally intercooled, right? So it's water cooled, and this is the heat exchanger, otherwise known as a radiator. It looks just like a radiator, basically does the exact same thing, only it's for that instead of that. But remember, this is like a tiny engine. It adds, how much? 4.5 liters of displacement? That's absurd. That's bigger than a 2J in
it's more
supercharger.
displacement than my Pro-Am car's engine.
All right, that is ridiculous. Is there any other like cool thing you want to show us on this before we wrap this video?
I mean, I think we got everything.
Okay.
Oh, one really cool thing. Can you hit the power switch real quick, Chris?
Damn.
Cockpit and work lights.
That is sick. So he's got little work lights here so they can work on the engine no matter what. If they didn't have this set up, this rig wasn't here, they were in the hot pits, right?
Yeah.
Anything, boom, light.
Lights there.
Things you
lights.
wouldn't think about. Interior.
Light up here. Footlights.
And there's little tiny things that look really bright actually.
And then these ones that are covered in tire dust right now.
Yeah.
But
Sick.
they're a little burned up, but they're in the back getting caked with rubber, so.
Oh yeah. All right, so if you had to do it again, you would still go this route, I assume?
I would think so.
Okay.
It's
Would you buy this exact car, or has there something else like caught your eye? Do you think maybe you could have spent more and had it better, or less and had it equal? What do you think?
I think we got a hell of a car for
Yeah.
the price we got it for.
Okay. And you can keep the price a secret if you want. I don't need to broadcast that. It's none of my business. People that ask sometimes don't understand. Like, anyway.
I will say we got it for probably a quarter of what was put into it.
Yeah, which is about right for race cars. Like 25 cents on the dollar is pretty good, but that means it was a very large bill. Right? So, okay, well, best of luck. Get over here. Best of luck. You guys wish him luck. Follow his journey. Are you gonna post stuff? Are you doing any social media? Or are you just fucking
I'm trying.
driving?
I'm trying, but I'm getting so excited driving. So
Yeah, that is only the best part. All the other
keep
stuff
on top
is
of
the part
social
that,
media
that
stuff.
like facilitates it. But anyway, all right. Well, good luck this season.
Thank you.
Kick ass tomorrow.
I'll try.
If you got to kick our ass, you know what? You got to kick our ass. You know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I think we're opposite sides of the bracket. So
Are you?
Maybe we'll meet.
All right, that'd be dope. Okay. Anywhere else the boys want to follow you? Shout them out right now. Shout outs.
At Nick Novak on Instagram.
All right.
Nick Novak Racing on Facebook.
Give me the sponsors.
Koenig Wheels.
Yep.
CoreWorks. Fuel Suspension.
Shout them out.
Tire Stacks.
Tire Stacks.
RTS.
You're an Achilles, of course. RTS.
CoreWorks.
Heel. No back. Oh, you didn't tell us about the brakes, really. You want to do that or no?
Oh, you can.
Okay. I talked about these brakes in my other video, and I didn't probably explain them as good as you can. Give me 30 seconds.
Two-piece rotors, lightweight, Willwood calipers, super light. I think Rick was saying each corner of the full suspension with the billet stuff and the brakes on it was like 50 something pounds.
That's very light.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is very interesting. You have a medium spring, or like you got a helper spring, you got a full spring. I wouldn't even know what to call this. Tender spring or something? What do they call that?
I'm not sure. I just know that's how Rick had it set up.
Yeah.
And he had it that way to basically imitate a progressive spring.
Oh,
Because
yeah, I will do
as
that.
of right now, the car does not have sway bars.
Mhm.
I want to add some,
Yeah.
but
You hear that? Add sway bar. I agree. Sway bars should be on the front of every drift car. Well, maybe not everyone, but S chassis and BMWs
yeah,
benefit.
it could help. But yeah, it's
Very cool.
pretty fun.
All right, I love it. Like I said, best of luck. You guys check out his socials and all that crap. Follow this channel, do all the YouTube things, and we'll see you on the next one.